Hi, I'm Dr. Larry Malerba, and thanks for tuning in to All Things Homeopathy. Today I'm going to give you a brief overview of the vast homeopathic literature. Think of this as an orientation to help you navigate the overwhelming number of homeopathic books available to the consumer. First of all, it's important to understand that the thousands of books published since Hahnemann's time are all just as relevant today as they were in the past. In fact, all serious students of homeopathy should make it their business to become familiar with the old classics. Compared to orthodox medicine, homeopathy is unique in this way. The allopathic literature is always in danger of becoming outdated precisely because its foundational principles are forever changing. While the general public tends to view this as a sign of scientific progress, to me it represents the shifting sands of a confused and misguided approach to healing. By contrast, the foundational principles of homeopathy are unchanging. As a result, all new additions to the literature serve to build upon the previously established foundation of homeopathic knowledge. Nothing ever becomes outdated. Many of the old homeopathic classics were written by physicians who practiced in the United States between the mid-1800s and early 1900s. Most of those books would have been lost to history if it were not for book publishers in India who recognized their inestimable value. Thankfully, the classics continue to be reprinted, and they're still available to us today. Many contemporary homeopathic books are written by authors from Europe and India, and both places happen to be places where modern homeopathy has taken root and thrived. It's easy for newcomers to become lost, not knowing where to begin. That's why it's useful to divide the homeopathic literature, both old and new, into a number of broad categories. Firstly, there are a large number of popular introductory books designed to explain the basics of homeopathy. This is perhaps the one category where the newer books may be more useful than the classics, especially because many of the older books are written in a challenging, old-world literary style. Once readers gain a basic grasp of what homeopathy is all about, many become interested in using homeopathy at home. The next step, therefore, is to purchase a few homeopathic first aid books. There are numerous such books, both old and new, and it's worth owning at least a handful of them. They come in handy as references when treating simple, acute first aid problems. The older first aid books were often referred to as domestic manuals. By the way, please do not attempt to treat your own or anyone else's chronic illness without the help of a professional. It's best to stick to first aid problems. Those who wish to undertake a more serious study of homeopathy will want to read books about the principles and practice of homeopathy. Principles and practice books cover the various aspects of homeopathic theory, such as the nature of suppression, the direction of cure, obstacles to cure, miasms and their influences, and more. They also discuss the nuts and bolts of homeopathic practice, like how to take a case, how to choose a remedy, how to evaluate a remedy response, when to prescribe a second remedy, and so on. While studying the theory and practice of homeopathy, it's also advisable to begin reading Hahnemann's Organon. The Organon is Dr. Hahnemann's magnum opus. He published several revisions of the Organon, and for a long time, the 5th edition was believed to be the definitive version. That's because the final 6th edition wasn't published until 1921, well after Hahnemann's death. Serious students like to read both editions in order to compare and contrast. It's good practice to reread the Organon on a periodic basis because it takes on new shades of meaning as one's knowledge and experience grow. After studying principles and practice and the Organon, the next step is to learn about the remedies, and that's where Materia Medica comes in. There are a variety of Materia Medicas, ranging from keynote Materia Medicas, which give brief sketches of the most salient features of a number of remedies, to more complete Materia Medicas, which provide more detailed information, to comprehensive Materia Medicas, some of which resemble encyclopedias. I personally think that it's preferable to begin by learning remedy keynotes while gradually studying more in-depth Materia Medica as one's studies progress. A repertory is a symptom index that is used to look up specific symptoms. Under each symptom, a repertory lists the remedies known to be able to cause, and therefore to cure, that symptom. It's the primary tool that all homeopaths use to analyze their cases. James Tyler Kent's repertory of the homeopathic Materia Medica is the most famous of all repertories, and the standard by which all others are judged. Originally rolled out from 1897 to 1899, it consisted of 1,329 pages. All modern repertories are modeled after Kent's repertory. Nowadays, there are a variety of computerized repertory programs that have powerful symptom search and case analysis functions. However, I do not recommend computerized repertories until well after students become acquainted with printed versions of the repertory. And last but not least, homeopathic therapeutics books can serve as useful guides. Therapeutics books contain listings of various health problems and brief descriptions of remedies commonly known to be able to help those ailments. At first glance, it seems like therapeutics books violate the homeopathic principle of individualization by providing shortcuts to prescribing. And that would be true if they were the only tools used to choose a remedy. But in reality, therapeutics books represent just one tool among many that practitioners use to study the remedies and to analyze cases. Well, that's my overview of the homeopathic literature. Next time, I'll provide a more specific list of essential books for anyone who wishes to undertake a serious study of homeopathy. Please don't forget to subscribe to the ATH YouTube channel, and I hope you'll join me again for the next episode of All Things Homeopathy.